Hey everybody, I'm back just for today anyway. I'm not sure what I'm going to do the rest of the time. I don't know if I'm going to be back full time doing videos. I'm probably not going to do them near as much as I have been doing, but something came out and it just had to bring me right back in. And that's fine because it's awesome. It's Crystal Pepsi. 1992. I mean, this is, how long is that? It's 14 years in the making for this to come back. It's crazy that I'm looking at this and I'm holding this in my hand. The old retro logo and everything. It's insane that I'm holding this. We live in a time where if you can find it, it's out. Go get some Ecto Cooler. Thanks to the new Ghostbusters movie. If everybody wants to hate on that movie, you can hate on it all you want to. That's fine, whatever. I didn't think it was that bad, but then again, I don't hold Ghostbusters, a comedy, not a serious anthology with a bunch of history. No, it's Ghostbusters. It's just a bunch of comedians, playing with toy guns and shooting at these puppets in the sky. That's all it is. I don't know why people take that movie so seriously, but people get so mad because of that movie. But with the new movie coming out, and I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, I laughed at it. There was some parts that were legit creepy in it. There was a mannequin walking around at one point of it, and you're like, "That's creepy." Anyway, why am I talking about Ghostbusters? Point is, people get mad at the Ghostbusters movie, but it brought back Ecto Cooler. So how mad can you be? You're drinking real official Ecto Cooler. You're not getting it bootleg at some convention from made in some dude's kitchen. It's like real high C Ecto Cooler that you're drinking. I haven't been able to find any, but as soon as I do, I plan on maybe doing a video because that'll actually be the first time I've ever had it. I've never had the original Ecto Cooler because I saw it and it was Ghostbusters, and I wasn't a Ghostbusters fan as a kid. I watched them later and I was like, oh yeah, okay. I mean, they're funny. Two wasn't that good, but I don't know. That's another video. And then what came out after that? When Surge came out first last year, and that still blows my mind that I can go right down the street to the gas station and pick up a Surge. That's crazy to me. And what came out after that? Ecto Cooler, thanks to the Ghostbusters movie. So, thank Ghostbusters for Ecto Cooler, you guys. If you can be mad about anything, that's fine, whatever. But thank Ghostbusters for Ecto Cooler. And now we have Crystal Pepsi. I don't know what's going on. I don't know if Pepsi Blue's coming back. I don't know if Josta is coming back. I don't know if Coke Black's coming back. I don't know if dang Orbit's sodas. I don't know if any of that stuff's coming back. But for right now, this is the third retro thing we've had in the last half a year, basically. And it's insane. It's really insane to me. I don't remember what this tastes like. I remember getting it though when I was a kid. I am actually in that generation that's not too young to remember this. I am right. I've come to find out that different people I've talked to, different age groups remember it and different ones don't. You have to be over 31, I think. If you're over 31 right now on this day in 2016, then you're going to remember this being out. If you're well, unless you were too old at the time. I think if you're between 31 and 45 or so, you'll remember this coming out, and you'll remember getting it and stuff like that. If you were older than that, you might not remember because I've come across a lot of people that didn't even realize that this was a thing in '92. Um, if you're younger than 31, 30 and under, you're not going to remember this because you were only like 5 or 6 when this came out. And I don't remember going to stores at 5 or 6 and getting sodas, but I remember at 8 or 9 years old getting sodas. I remember seeing this on the shelf. I remember seeing the commercial. I think it was a commercial that I saw with they were at like an amusement park or something like that. And I think there was a roller coaster in the background, and there was these teenager type kids, early 20s people, talking about a clear cola. I don't know what the gimmick. This was a gimmick in the early '90s. Every little area has a gimmick, and with sodas, it became clear soda. I don't know why clear soda was a gimmick. I remember Seven Up even called themselves the Uncola when I was a kid because it was a clear soda, but it wasn't cola. So it had to distinguish itself. And I think Coke came out with a tab that was clear. And I don't get why it was a thing. It's neat. Look at it. It's like it looks like water. It's insane. Look at this Crystal Pepsi. This is insane. I just you don't look. This is probably gonna be really bad. Not bad. I think it's gonna be tolerable. From what I understand, everybody says, "Oh, it was always really bad, and it's still bad today." And you're like, "No, that's not the point. The point is, you have something of this nature. It's nostalgic like this, and it's out. It just and I just picked up like less than a year ago. I just picked up the Pepsi Perfect too. You know, from Back to the Future in 2015. Pepsi's killing it right now. They really are. They have all these new sodas with real sugar in it. They have the real sugar Pepsis, and they're constant. You see them everywhere. Real sugar vanilla Pepsi, real sugar cherry Pepsis, and the real sugar vanilla cherry Pepsis. Now you have Crystal Pepsi. Now you have 1893, which has got real sugar craft original formula Pepsi ish, and ginger Pepsi. They're killing it right now. And not to mention they did the Pepsi Perfect last year. Granted, that ticked a lot of people off because both sets of Pepsi Perfect sold out in like what, maybe 12 minutes altogether. It was crazy. I was lucky enough to get one, but only 13,000 of them made it. And after that, you gotta pay like $75 to $100 for them on eBay. But I have one on my shelf, and that's awesome. But let's get to it. Let's taste this now. I think I'm just gonna stick this to the guy. That's insane. I just opened Crystal Pepsi. That's you guys just don't know. Okay, I'm gonna stick with this on the YouTube channel because Soda Jerks and I love Soda Jerks. You guys are awesome, and thank you so much for putting all my videos on your site. You just did a Crystal Pepsi, and you did it in a whole lot more detail than I'm gonna do. So I'm gonna keep this on the YouTube page and let you guys have the Crystal Pepsi. I keep wanting to call it Crystal Clear Pepsi, but it's just Crystal Pepsi. Let you keep that review for yourselves and let that get all the attention. And this will just be on my YouTube page. I smelt Pepsi when I opened it. So, oh wait, it's different. It's different. I so don't remember what this tastes like, but the smell. Wow, the smell actually brought me back just then. That's crazy how that happens. I know smell is like the biggest trigger to like childhood memories and stuff like that, but I remember that smell more than anything else. Wow. I could just that's so crazy. I could just sit here and smell this all day. That's the weirdest thing. So my childhood in '92 was I was 8 turning 9. That was the peak of my childhood, not necessarily my adolescence and high school years and all that, and middle school, whatever. But the peak of my childhood was 92, 93, 90 to 93. Well, that was the key years of my childhood. Ninja Turtles were out, and I was all into that. Wrestling was really good. All into Ultimate Warrior, Hulk Hogan, Ric Flair won the '92 Royal Rumble. You know, all this awesome stuff with wrestling. NASCAR was really good. I was big into NASCAR. And Davey Allison, Alan Kawicki, Bill Elliott were running for the championship in '92. Rusty Wallace was winning 10 races a year in '93. That was always my favorite driver, and Davey Allison was always my favorite driver until he got killed, of course. And God, what else? I lived right down the street from a dirt track, so every Saturday night for 2 years, when I was 8, 9 years old, we went down to the dirt track, and I got to watch all these local guys race. Actually got to race against them later on in life, and that was blew my mind. I was out there with some of my childhood heroes on the local level, like Danny Joe Thomas and Chuck Moore. I know you guys don't know any of those people, and you know it doesn't matter, but they were childhood legends to me, and I was on the racetrack with them and competing with them, and that just blew my mind. And it's crazy to think about today. That's Pepsi's getting me all nostalgic and stuff. What else was going on? Oh goodness, I don't even remember. There's just so much stuff back then. The whole Hasbro action figures were out. Alabama won a national championship in '92. It was a good little 2 or 3 years right there. You know, I mean, we didn't know if we'd ever win another championship. And all of a sudden, you know, we hadn't won one since the '70s, and we won one in '92. And George Teague took that ball right out of that guy's hand and turned around and run the other way. It was just loved it, loved every minute of it. And Now, whatever. You see how it is nowadays. But wow. Okay, it's probably not going to be as good as all the memories, but it took me back, so that's worth it. Why is this getting a bad rap taste wise? Oh my gosh, I really like that. I really like that. There is a citrus overtone to it, undertone maybe. Goodness, I really like that. It's Pepsi. It's absolutely Pepsi. You can taste this is clear Pepsi. It's I maybe remember this flavor a little bit as a kid, but it's hard to it's hard to think about me drinking it when I was a kid. So I don't remember actually tasting it. I just remember getting it and the smell of it brought me back. But I don't remember the flavor at 8 or 9 years old because it was gone right after that. But this is really good to me. I don't know why everybody hates this so much, but I really like that. And I'm not usually a clear soda kind of guy. Like I cannot drink a Sprite. It's too sweet. This is actually not too sweet to me. It's wow. I can't believe I'm drinking Crystal Pepsi in 2016, and I can go right down the street and get a surge and drink that later on this afternoon if I wanted to. What an amazing time for nostalgia's sake. I just got out of the theater a couple months ago to go watch Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and I saw Rocksteady and Bebop and Krang on the screen. I got a Crystal Pepsi. I can get Surge anytime I want to. Ecto Cooler, Ghostbusters, and my wife bought a brand new Ghostbusters flash drive, and it's so funny all this stuff out right now. Great time for my generation to be alive to see all this stuff that they loved growing up as a kid coming back. What would I rate this? If I'm going by a soda jerk scale, I would say by a pack. I think this is awesome. I really do. I love all the nostalgia thrown into it, and I like the taste. I actually like this. It is citrusy. It's weaker on the carbonation side, which is fine. I'd rather not be that strong when it comes to that. It's not too acidic. Um, it's not really that acidic, but you do get the. Not I say I always do like stronger sodas as far as carbonation goes, but some reason with this I'm okay with it not being that strong. But I expected it from Pepsi. Pepsi doesn't make very strong carbonated sodas anyway. Um, that's more of a Coke thing. So I'm perfectly fine with this being the way it is. And flavor wise, I'd say it's up there. I would get this over regular Pepsi any day, if not just for the nostalgia factor alone. But let me tell you where I bought this. I bought this at my Walmart in Pensacola, Florida. This is 2 days after it officially launched nationwide for a limited run. So if you see it, you better get it. And it might not be out very long. But I went to my local Walmart on the way. Stopped by about 2:30 in the morning, and on the way to New Orleans, and it I went in there and I looked all around the front of the registers, and there was no Pepsis whatsoever. I mean, you had the Pepsi, a big open space, then you had your Diet Pepsi, and I knew what was good in that open space right there. I knew what went there, and I looked all throughout all the registers. I didn't see anything, and I was like, "Oh Lord, I think I missed it already. Let me go to the back and where they keep all the sodas and stuff, and let me see back there. Maybe there'll be some kind of end cap or display of them or something like that." I went back there, and there was a one little section that's on the side, like it's on the corner of an aisle. Not the end cap, not the aisle itself, but right here on the edge of the aisle. Where it's buttoned up against the end cap, and it's a shelf display that's temporary, and it's got two deep shelves in it that looks like it probably could have held about maybe 70 bottles or so, maybe more than that. There were three left. That whole Walmart, there were three Crystal Pepsis left, and I got the last three. So I was fortunate to be able to find it, and I'm happy I did. I'm glad I could review it. It's turn around so you can see it. Look at that nice retro label. I love it. It's a good buy a pack for me with the Soda Jerks review, with their scale, with my own personal scale. Nostalgia factors through the roof. I would say pick it up in a heartbeat. Don't hesitate. You see it, get it. I'm gonna get one just to keep on my shelf right by my Surge, and all the unique little retro sodas I have. I'm gonna keep one for you know for keepsake, and the rest of them I buy, I'm drinking them up because I love it. So, if you like this video, follow me on Twitter at soda_hunter. Be sure to follow me on Twitter because I'm all the time on there and I'm posting all sorts of stuff. And it's not just about soda. I post stuff about racing, wrestling, pops, Funko Pops, any type of nerd culture, geek culture, comic book stuff. I'm all into it. And if you're a Bama fan, please follow me. Roll Tide. And till next time, whenever that'll be, happy hunting.